And when I went to put it back in, thank you. But it still had the problem, so I think the line.
And if it ain't that,
Appreciate you.
ditch. Thank you. You know, when they cut the ditch to build the back.
Can I bug you for your signature, please?
Got it a little bit.
Sure. I can come back. You're busy doing it.
Yeah, when you try to figure out what the problem is, you get all the way back to the ditch when they built the back.
But it wasn't a roof. It had a whole bunch of it.
Hey, we're not all stretched. I don't think. Somehow. Good.
Back in 37s.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah,
I find it a little weird about some of these articles. It seems like they're really good people
They, both the M37s
because they like, look at how messed up this thing is.
Dodge Power Wagon.
Yeah.
Huh?
have increased brake surface capacity. Using the same darn brakes as on the lightweight.
Hello, this is Rob with the Arizona Military Vehicle Collectors Club. Today is the second day of April 2026, and this is the monthly club meeting for the Arizona Military Vehicle Collectors Club. The meeting starts at the top of the hour. I have about 5 more minutes before this begins, so we will just look in at the meeting until Pledge of Allegiance, and then the meeting will start. As always, this is just a cell phone in the back of a room tacked onto a little stand, so you won't be able to hear very well or see very well, but you can say you watched it. Today, I don't even have the ability to tilt the camera back or tilt it down. It's all just this straight motion up and down, left and right, because it's on a light stand. So getting this screen is going, oh, how can I go back to the screen? Getting this screen is difficult. I have to go way up or something, I don't know. We'll worry about that later.
Which is pretty unchanged from the 1930s.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The only one I haven't had a real problem with is the World War II machine. That is the only flat side out in my house. That does not have a big problem. And it's much for the size of the engine. The thing has over 6 degrees. All the others.
Hey, SIP don't part. SIP don't
Mind
part.
you, I got Packard, Cadillac, the Jeep, and Dodge. So essentially, I got Willys, mine's Ford, so Willys Wi-Fi engine.
So I'm not streaming on the Wi-Fi, so I'm on the stream.
So I wouldn't call myself an engine expert by any means.
I got a lot of.
If it's fixed up, you just showed me the photo for instance, it looked like it's being fixed up. But,
That, I can't remember which this, I want to say it's 28. It's that.
there are various, I had a number of close friends.
Stuff was really. Trailer was really.
You know, the ambulance is like based on that.
It's like a pair of
37.
like a
They're they're so damn,
They're not
their
good.
bodies are so damn.
I don't know, they
The hour
have
of the end, I don't know. One of the guy who was our.
It's like two, they're next to each other, and the other one's just like,
20 years.
and it's because it has no drainage. I think
He had one of these gallons.
Right. Yeah.
And what a lumbering, slow, it's such a bad body that they really should have had a.
Whichever one, I wanna say, we're gonna step in our chest, but one of the last things that that was done.
And then 37, like you showed me, has a much better power weight. Put an overdrive in that thing. Yeah, you can move, there are other things you can do too.
no problem. Oh, and there's a spark.
Yes, I did. Kind of interesting. Oh, I don't think I'll find it. But there's a couple videos out there. Wherever.
It's just one box. I've got a couple of
It wasn't because, you know, they gave us that 3 before they made sure it moved so that the presentation would go right. To get everything all out of the- So then, so they have those trailers there.
right now.
All right. Once we silence that phone, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hello. Thank you all for coming.
How you doing?
Hi, Rob.
Hey, John.
Give everybody a second to settle down, and we're going to start the April meeting of the Arizona Military Vehicle Collectors Club. We'll start with typical agenda: Secretary's report, Treasurer's report, mail call, and we'll call for any new members or people we haven't seen in a bit. Talk about new business, tech talk, past events, upcoming events, and whatever else we have on the slide deck tonight. We'll start with the past secretary report. Did John provide you a copy of that, or should we just summarize from the notes?
I think you did, but I don't have it.
That's okay. John, do you remember all this by heart? You want to say it?
No.
Okay. I'll summarize. How's that
I got a
sound?
copy.
You have one with you?
Yes.
Oh, do you want to summarize? Do you want to paraphrase? You have, okay, I'll do it. No problem.
He's got a copy for you.
He's like, I'm back at the bus now, leave me alone.
So, Leslie, our new secretary, is grabbing a copy of the secretary report from John. I'm not gonna call you out, but I want to.
Just say it's a fitting ringtone.
Do you feel like you want to paraphrase through this, or give it a shot? We want about 4 sentences out of 2 pages.
4 sentences, okay.
You got it.
All right, meeting was called at 1900 hours, pledge of allegiance. Brief moment of silence. George Soleski's medical problems may keep him from assuming the office of club secretary before I took over the role. Tech talk, Sam's ambulance is no longer vibrating thanks to some driveline work. Past events, meeting February 5th. Buckeye Airfare, February 12th and 14th. Chick-fil-A Touch a Truck, February 7th. Buckeye. All 6 vendor spaces were sold with 20 people camping in the swamp or vendor spaces. Upcoming events. NASCAR March over past that room.
You skipped that, yeah, we did all that.
Okay. So it would be Page Free Parade, April 25th. Embroidery orders are open for August delivery. Ivan Greenberg would like some to host the Tech Day before it gets too hot.
All right.
Good,
How'd that sound?
thank you.
Approved. Okay, not formally Robert's rules, but hey, that'll work. Thank you. And Jeff, you're up. Do you want to do the treasury report? I've got it in front of you here.
Thank you. Beginning balance, $42,574.86. Deposits and additions, $336.65. Checks, card withdrawals, and I don't think there were card withdrawals, $364. Ending balance, $42,547.51.
Looks like you just moved a couple numbers around.
And that
Called it
petty
good.
cash is wrong. Is that what Krista provided you?
I only put what you guys said.
Okay.
What's the petty cash at?
We just, put the last 20 in the bucket today, so I'll need to.
We just haven't been deprecating it or decrementing it. Okay. So here, we'll have you read the full report then if you had a mistake in that little page. I'm just kidding. You don't have to read the full report.
Full
What I-
report.
What I wanted to show though, Jeff had the taxes done by his tax preparer that used to do it for the club, and he provided a nice report of the previous year, this year, and it shows gross receipts. I think Jeff was telling me pretty close to $29,000 over the year. It looks like 27,897. There might be some other stuff in here, and it talks about where did that money go. And this is it's nice to see this once in a while. When the MVPA was coming through restoration, you know, after they lost their $1 million and they had less money than us and they're trying to put it back together, we looked at this pretty closely, and it's good to look at this once in a while. Where's your money going? So I like that it's all written down, and I like that we can see where did the money go in 24, 25, and how are we doing year over year. I think we had to pay about, well, I'll talk about the tax return itself, but we had a big loss year in 24, and so our taxes were almost nothing. We had to rebuild that back, so we had a little bit more taxes than 25. And there's a little bit more here. It's sometimes easier to look at it just on a balance sheet. So what is the money, and what did you do with it? So one thing that we haven't really had on our balance sheet before is assets. So in 25, we purchased the trailer, and so we took a full depreciation on that because it's an old trailer, and you can, so when you bought it, depreciate it all the way, and hopefully that helped out the numbers a little bit for last year, because that's money we spent. And that was a good thing to buy that trailer last year, considering how much money we brought in. And there's the balance sheet. The taxes all got paid today. We worked on that, and it was $1,207 that we paid the federal. Not bad for having $29,000 worth of fun, and we shared way more than that with everybody, just in food, but we shared that also in just like fuel stipends and things like that. $320 payable to the state of Arizona, and I think we still owe the CPA the $545 correctly. Is that right? Okay, so that check will get written. So this number that you see on the paper is going to go back down to about 39 or 4. I just wanted to make that clear that we don't have that much money, but that's what money it took to have that much money. So that makes sense. Any questions? Okay, we'll move on. Thank you. Mail call, we had 2 membership forms and a couple of don't forget us to Big Brothers Big Sisters, but we donate to them just about every fall at the Paul Horton car wash, so they don't forget us. They don't want us to forget them either. So thank you, Lance, for picking up the mail today, and I think Leslie, you're going to start picking it up.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. There's a check to deposit there, but I already updated the membership forms with everything that's here. Okay.
This one was over the phone, right?
Yep, I took that one and the check's in the other one.
Okay.
Okay, so Jeff might have walked around the room asking for those of you that have prior service photos, if we could put them in a slide deck for November, just something different and fun to do. So if you would, send them to me, sam@armytrucks.org, and I'll build a slide deck. And if I don't want to do it, I'll send them to Rob. Maybe copy us both, I don't know. But if you get them to sam@armytrucks.org, they'll get to where they need to go to make sure that we have a
Did he
slide
explain
deck.
it?
You can explain it more.
Okay, so, I was thinking in November, we could have a slideshow of our members that have served in the armed forces, and there you probably have a picture of yourself back when you were a young person.
At Fort Bliss.
Is that you? Okay. Like, John, you served, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know they had flash powder back then, but. And, I thought it would be interesting to, kind of highlight our members that have served, especially during the season, so. Please consider that, and, we're putting it together where you're gonna send the pictures in, and then we haven't talked to Rob yet about putting the slideshow.
Right on. Okay, so this is also the part where we say, do we have any new members or visitors? But I recognize everybody in the room, so I'd say that's probably a no today. New topics, other topics to add. Doc, you came up here and said you had a topic. Is it just for me or is it for the meeting?
I don't know.
We'll talk afterwards, okay. We'll bring it back up later. Madden came up right at the beginning of the meeting, so we stuck it in the slide deck because that's just how fast we are. He said the traveling Vietnam Wall will be in Surprise on April 9th. I would like to go. Did you look, is that a Friday, Saturday, Sunday? What is that?
That is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So maybe on a Saturday, I would like to go out and maybe we can have somebody say, yeah, let's do this. I haven't looked at my calendar to see if I'm on call or anything, but it's close enough that I can probably get away with it. But that's at the same place where the SciTech Fest and that type of stuff is, John, that you do. I think that's where that.
Weekend too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the 11th.
Did you already mention this to me? Anyways, this is the way to get it to me to put in the slide deck is to actually write it on my hand, staple it to my forehead, something like that. But so, anybody wants to go to that? That's when it is. The MVPA Festival is 19 to 21 June. Registration is open. It's all electronic. I guess the first time ever you don't have to write something on paper and mail it to them or however it was to register in the past. We're not calling Susan at headquarters this year. We're gonna just do it electronically. All of the new leaders, including Leslie, Lance, and Steve, want to go. Jeff is making sounds like he wants to go, and I want to present a topic. And they've asked they've said that would be a good idea if I do. Now Jeff says that that's not true because he saw who's presenting and I'm not on the list. But I didn't see that list. I think he's just messing with me.
I'm working it.
Okay. Anyways, the topic I want to present is how to help the clubs, because last year at the Nationals, all the clubs across the country were talking about failing membership, they're declining, failing funds, failing leadership, and failing engagement. They're having to put 2 and 3 clubs together to have one event. And so we've done very well. We're probably one of the strongest, I see it, one of the strongest clubs in terms of membership, growth, continuation, participation. Our budget is strong, our club is strong, and we're doing great here. And we aren't magic. But go ahead.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, can I go in order? Go ahead, Doc.
Is this a club sponsored, I think you said that people do it?
This is the same one.
Okay, do we have funding for that?
We have restored the funding that you put and sent some people last year, so we still have that, and the club has done very well, and we've added a little bit to it. We're hoping to fundraise a little bit more to send 4 people.
Okay, could I donate some?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
I'd like to toss in 2,500.
Wow, that's really good. Thank you.
That's amazing and incredible, and I'd like to just stop right there because that would completely be the funding that we were gonna try to fundraise for over the next 2 months.
Yeah, instead of
Thank
doing
you.
that,
So with that, we can confirm that Lance can go, because that was, part of it was the individual contribution. When we went last year, we had our own individual contributions to shore up the club, so that puts us to definitely enough money, and we can now work on getting the tickets. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that. What was your question?
Well, he kind of ruined it.
yeah,
Which is
we
great.
had something
which is
for
great,
you.
So thank you.
But
We were
we're gonna
do
modify
something as well. And I think we still can.
Well, no, he didn't run anything.
Well, but it would be for a different reason. We can do it.
We're gonna modify what we were gonna do.
If we can get some vehicles here for our MVEC convocation, we'll donate money towards the club.
Okay.
We already plan on donating anyways, but if we can get some vehicles here on the 8th, and I'm sorry to kind of leave it.
That's okay. No, we have that on the slide deck with some food, so we'll just add that there's gonna be a little bit of an incentive to it as well, so we can make sure that you get that.
A lot of it's.
I like that. No, this is great.
Well, hang on a second, I kind of suggested that I would go on my own dime, to the show, because you get to land in Washington DC to get to the show. And that's something I've never seen before in my life, and it sounded very interesting to me.
So here's what, since we're paused on this, and since there's definitely a little bit more budget than we had previously, because this is within 2 hours of Washington DC, and the airport at Washington DC is a direct flight from here instead of taking a regional jet and spending a lot more time and more money to get there, we were hoping to fly into Washington DC a day early, spend the night in Washington DC, and walk the National Mall in the morning on Friday morning, and then drive over to the festival on Friday night, do the barbecue. And so that might definitely be, if everyone could get the time off, that might be in the budget now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great, go ahead.
When you fly in, are you gonna fly in Reagan or Dulles?
So Dulles is an hour and a half, and Southwest just discontinued their direct flight to Dulles. Reagan is busier and closer, and more expensive. Baltimore is cheaper, direct flight, but a half hour further. So there's like 4 airports in contention. So we have
It's more than a half an hour. For somebody that's lived in the Washington DC area, BWI is a lot farther away.
With
Yeah.
the traffic,
Yeah, so there's.
You wanna fly into Richmond if you can.
All that's being considered. All that's being considered. If we fly into Richmond, we're not going to DC though. That's the thing.
But
So we need to go to DC.
what I was getting at was, if you fly into Dulles, the Smithsonian that's there has the space shuttle, the SR-71, the Concorde. And
Yeah.
that one, I've been to the one on the mall, and
This is great.
And that's probably the better of the air
Dulles?
museums that you want.
We're
Yes.
hoping for Dulles.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's good information. There's
Just fly
also
United.
there's also the one right on the coast over there, and I forget which one it is. It's got the anyways. So let's move on from this, but I wanted to let you know that this is available for all the members to attend for free. There's no MVPA member charge to attend the festival. The barbecue is free for members. There are definitely things that you would need to cover to get there, but we're encouraging people to do this, and we're trying to build some momentum with the MVPA. But I'm gonna keep going, or we'll be here till midnight. Any other questions about the Virginia Festival? Anybody else here was thinking about going? Okay, all right. Excellent. Could be a big representation from Arizona. We have all the information. If you don't, it's on the mvpa.org website. They do still have a hotel block, so. Don't forget to send me pictures and stories about what you're working on. We definitely had a great one from Rob last time about his exhaust manifold repair, but I have some from the last, it's gonna be all the stuff that I have if nobody else sends anything. But we took George's Cuckvie to NASCAR because at the last minute, he was just not well, he was dizzy, he couldn't drive it, and he asked if somebody else would take it in, and we got other members to take his vehicle in, and I think I drove the Cuckvie infield, and when I got underneath it to put the drip pans and the carpet down, I hit my head on something, I turned over and looked, and it was the transmission cross member that you see me pointing at right here. And that's not good, and it was also shifting a little bit funny, and I thought, well, maybe because the linkage is stretched too far to get it into gear. So I snuck in the next morning, because now I'm in field without parts and tools, and you can't carry that through the gates, and I have to walk through the gates and get metal detected. So I drove in early in the morning with 2 C-clamps, because I didn't have a floor jack with me, and I used a long C-clamp and a short C-clamp to pull that all back together and some hardware, and put it together in field, and it worked just fine. So that got repaired at NASCAR infield, and boy, they loved hearing his Cuckvie start up after all the racing was done, and I started one more race motor. That thing sounds great. Another Tech Day topic, thank you everyone who's in this room who helped. I think everyone who helped is in this room actually. Matt and Austin and Jeff and Leslie. We had to change a front right. Has anybody ever blown a tire on a military vehicle other than a front right? Because I think they're all front rights that go out. That's my second front right. But we had all the right stuff to do it, and we did it Dukes of Hazzard style. I said it was 10 minutes, and Jeff said I'm lying to myself if I thought it was 10 minutes.
A little longer than that.
But we did it before we had to move the convoy, like we did it quick. So that worked well. Still need to fix then the 925 losing prime. Still need to sand and paint the ambulance. and we still need to put a pump in the search and rescue deuce. Still need to install the radiator in a Humvee in Phoenix for this guy over here. And Lee Ritter is probably gonna need some help putting Luther's, well, it's hers, the scout car engine back in. Luther had called about it, but he has passed. So. Steve's not here to read about the upcoming and past events, so I guess I will keep on going. So we had a lot of stuff that passed by since the last meeting and now. We may have come to the meeting during NASCAR. I think we were here. Yep. But, oh, I forgot that I had this in here. So the Buckeyes sent their final counts and they said 38,000 was their estimate based on the parking numbers. And that's how they do it year over year. So if it was good enough for the year before, it's good enough for this year, and they think they ran 38,000 through the event. 91 AOPA exhibitors, 158 RV auto campers, 9,800, these are the numbers you're hearing, Aviation Academy around 1,000, volunteers 191, they didn't count us, air show acts 10, 3 military demo teams. But what I think is interesting is we had 48 vehicles, 42 displays, and if you put that together, that's about 90. We did the same amount of displays as any other parts of this show, so I still think we're a third of this event. You guys can form your own opinions, but we did pretty good out there, and they appreciate us, and they're already asking us back, so if you have other ideas, gotta hear them. NASCAR, March 5th through 8th, we were out there, and we had a different crew. Charlie Compton, Steve Dorsey, and Glenn Saber were on the midway where Albert and myself and George usually park. So that was a whole different crew on the midway. So they got all new vehicles to look at. The Cuckvee and Chris's M38 with John at the wheel was on the infield. And that was a super good experience. And Lance, you were there for setup day this day and you brought all the carpet tiles. You want to add anything to the NASCAR experience for us this year? I always talk about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, the overwhelming response from the people walking by and looking at the vehicles was fantastic. And so if it's something that we can continue to do, I'd say yes. And the more variety of vehicles we can put out there, I think the more attention we'll gather in the long run.
So tell us about the top picture here behind you.
Oh, Dutch oven dessert night at camp.
We always have a cook-off. We always do competitions.
So we didn't have that many entries this time, but it's a Dutch oven competition where the surrounding campers in that whole area come in and they're the judges, and they taste every Dutch oven dessert that's made, and they get a poker chip to put into a container matching the number whichever dish you ate to vote. And
what did you win? What place?
I got third.
You got third. And these two young ladies here in the picture.
They're sisters.
They're sisters, and Imogen, and I forget the other sister's name, but we like to involve the youth. If they want to cook, we give them some stuff. So I gave her all the ingredients in a Dutch oven, and she cooked, and she won. So that was kind of cool.
They had fun too. That's a big part.
Dr. Corella went to this one, and I didn't get any pictures. Doggone it, 2 people went. I think Sam DeMarco and Dr. Corella went to this fundraiser. I'm going to move on because I don't have pictures, but that was that event in Scottsdale by the air park to raise funds for the Freedom for Heroes that helps veterans, or probably mostly veterans, have activities or outdoor adventures like going camping, going fishing, things like that. That's what they do with their 501c. And so we're always trying to support the 501s, and that was one of the events, and they did very well. Luke Days. I'd say Luke Days was a success. It was a scorcher, but it was a success. Matt got all of our tanks full. Thank you, Matt. If you were consuming diesel, you had a full tank when you left. Well, you didn't have a full tank when you got home, because I think you dropped some on the way home. But we did set up some camouflage net for shade, and that was just a couple weekends ago. So enjoy the pictures of Luke Days. If you haven't been there, I recommend it. Anybody else go out to the Falcon Field AHMTA show? I went. You went out. Definitely the weather affected their show, I would say. I went looking for antennas, and there's only 2 or 3 people selling, and I didn't find the antenna I was looking for. I'm still looking for the same antenna I got on the 5-ton, basically, and a base. But definitely a nice show. If you've never been to that one, I encourage it. I got to spend some time learning about the Searchlight, which is something new for me. Why don't you talk about this one? You did that display. This was the fundraiser for the VFW District 11. I'm not VFW, American Legion District
Yeah,
11.
trying to get a new post set up, so we had been emailing back and forth with them, and they want to get a vehicle out there, and Sam was busy with Luke Day, so he asked me if I wanted to take his ambulance out there. I'm like, sure. Get out there. Not only was the event going on because they moved up the time and never notified us, so I got there a little bit late, but Sam's just all of his equipment put out there for display and everything, turned a lot of heads and brought back a ton of memories for everybody. And lo and behold, when it came time for them to do their judging, because they were doing awards and things, they got a first place trophy.
That Raggedy Ride brought home a first place. So don't be ashamed to bring out whatever you got. Just bring it. Might work. Thank you. Thank you. And I thought it looked great. I mean, I swung by on my way between Falcon Field and Luke and saw this display, and I was just super impressed. What a great job you did with that display. So thank you. How did Parker go? I didn't get any pictures. I was fishing for pictures. That's all right.
That's Mike's responsibility.
He didn't send me any either. I asked him to. Tell us a little bit.
Well, they had about 20 vehicles out there, which was
Pretty good.
probably most they've had in the 6 years that they've had it.
So it's growing.
There was not very many vendors, maybe about 7 or 8, but it was pretty hot, so the activity was kind of slow.
Man, I tried to get anyone to talk me into going. I sent an email to all my friends. Anybody go, I'll go. Nobody went with me. Probably better. I cut my trees. All right, upcoming events. Anybody need to take a picture of that? Because you don't get the email, take it right now. I'm talking to you. But these are the dates. We're going to go over all of them. The one on April 11th, I'd like you to take special note of. I'm looking for up to 10 RSVPs, $75 each. I'll flip right to it as soon as I can grab the picture. But the Phoenix Rising Stadium is at the old swap meet just north of the airport. I think is that Van Buren right there, just north of the airport?
I thought it was Washington.
Maybe it's Washington.
Washington.
I'll have the address here. So
38th Street.
they would love to have 10 military vehicles. They've provided us a donation. We don't have it in the bank yet, but I'm feeling like they're not going to lie to us. We're offering $75 a person to go. They're offering food voucher, drink voucher, future tickets for 2 because you don't get to really watch the event the night you're there. So they're saying, I'll give you tickets to another event a different night for 2. And you get to head out at halftime before the crowds get too wild and before the traffic's bad. So for the first 10, we can do it up to $75 fuel fund or whatever amount you want to take up to that amount. Food and beverage vouchers, camel bucket hats. I said, hey, can you set some aside for the guys? Because a lot of the guys like the bucket hats. I know you would love a bucket hat. That's something you would wear. And I think we should support it. I've got 2 RSVPs now. Anybody else in this room think they might want to go? And could you take notes if the hands go up? Rob, is that something you might do?
Nope.
Doc, I saw you looking at it pretty close. Is that something that interests you over there by the airport?
That's the same day as the Vet Fest.
Vet Fest?
Yeah.
The museum.
Okay. I'm a little bit confused because I don't have that in my slide deck.
Yeah, that's from 2 to 7 at the museum. Okay.
No, is that something we should know about?
We have been going there for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And it's
Is that
usually-
something we need military vehicles for?
Yeah. Both of my vehicles will be there.
Okay. Well, if that's something we need to put out to the crew, let me know about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you. Because if you said it to me in passing, I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. Another good reason to send me an email, and if you don't see it in the email I send out, send it to me again, because holding it together by a thread, folks. Okay, moving on. April 25th, the Freedom Parade in Page. You can go up on the 24th and you can set up for free. And maybe if you just want to get up there with a Jeep or something in Page. It's for the Elks Lodge, and they're doing their America 250 celebration downtown Page. so I'm gonna keep clicking through it. April 25th, we have Touch a Truck at the South Mountain location, which is pretty near to here. That's at 24th Street. South, oh my gosh, in southern baseline, is it that far south? Okay, so they'd like that on Saturday the 25th, staging it around 10:30, be done by 2. And they'll definitely feed you. You'll go home with some extra gift cards. I know they say on them where they're from, but they work anywhere, at any of the franchise stores, because we've proven that. And they're definitely interested in catering the next 2 meetings for us here. So, or I think they said June and August. So the Scottsdale store wants to cater May. So we might let them do that. Do you guys like it when we have the Chick-fil-A catering here and there's sandwiches for you or chicken nuggets or something?
I like it.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you don't want me to do that anymore.
Free food.
Okay, just the one. Got it. All right. I will make sure to reduce the order by 1. We'll probably still do it. Sorry.
Well, as long as they don't have to travel like 20 minutes or something. If you can get it here in 10 minutes from the time it comes out of the fryer, great. But you don't want to have fried, crispy food put into foil and then carried for an hour
I can
and
bring
then
a salad.
dropped off.
We'll have them do the salads.
Just have them come here and do it.
You know-
Bring the
you know-
fryers.
you know what you do? Honestly, you have the different Chick-fil-A's around the area, have them give the money to this one right here. They'll have that provided.
There you go.
Okay, it's all
That's
great
an idea.
ideas. I'm taking it
Good
all
idea.
under advisement. I'll make sure I negotiate for this Chick-fil-A to have that one pay me, so I'll do it.
You write that down?
Yeah, make sure you write that one down so I know how to negotiate.
Just
that.
right round robin.
Yeah.
Things that Sam needs to do.
Thank you.
There's a lot.
I just thought it was nice that they wanted to feed us, but.
You were wrong.
April 28th in Scottsdale. Another Touch a Truck, that one's on a Tuesday, 3:30 in the afternoon, so that one's an evening one. And you get fed there while it's hot. You get your cards to use immediately wherever you go to. And then when they cater food for us here in May, you cannot eat it if it's too cold for you. And that's my suggestion. May 2nd, awards night at Desert Mountain Golf Club. Oh, this one's stitched up. Did you guys, this one came out in the email and I only got a couple of responses, but we only needed 2, and that one's a $250 incentive and food and beverage for 2. So that's gonna be a nice couples night for a couple of our members named Jeff.
I won't be taking the incentive.
That's okay. We encourage you to do what's best for you in the incentive, and I appreciate that.
Oh, they want nice vehicles. It says nice vehicles.
They did kind of want nice vehicles. So like they flipped through the slide deck and they pointed at Jeff's Jeep too, and I told him, they says whatever. And so I'm like, I wasn't kidding. They pointed at yours and said, can we get that one? So, but I offered it to everybody. I didn't handpick who I chose, but when I didn't get the RSVPs, I made a couple phone calls. May 8th, display for Fighter Country Foundation, the golf tournament. So this is another one, and I don't know if I put the incentive on here, but I think I've got a pretty healthy incentive on this one. So you can stay for lunch. So it's going to be a morning only. It's a weekend, and it's just like the other ones out at the golf tournament at Wigwam. So John, if that interests you, get with me. I think there's a fuel incentive tied to it. I just don't remember what it is. I wrote it down yesterday or maybe this morning, but so much has happened since then, including a whole bunch of anesthesia stuff, like for the job I work. And
You have another job?
I have another job. A lot going on. So anyways, there will be incentive on this one, and there is food on this one if you choose to stay for it, or you can leave before the food. So that's your incentive, is either you get to leave before lunch or you stay for lunch and leave after lunch. So a double incentive there. And I think they turned out wanting 3 vehicles, 1 for each course. So the first 3 RSVPs, or 1 person with 2 RSVPs, I would do that. John, if you bring 2 vehicles out, stage 1 on each course. Can you tow one with the other? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, they weren't too picky. And that's a good organization. They support the cadre of the fighter wing out at Luke. So whether it's families or retirees, etc., that's what they do. This one is here, May Am I on the wrong date, or do I have this right?
This is correct.
Okay, why don't you talk about this one?
All right, so last year we did Veterans Convocation from Maricopa Colleges here, and we're doing it again this year. Last year we asked, if we could get a couple volunteers to bring vehicles out. Iden showed up with his World War II Jeep, and it was a huge hit with the students, taking pictures, asking questions. So this year we're asking for 3 or 4 vehicles, and you can either eat here ahead of time, or if you're willing to wait, when the event's over and you got the time, I'll take you out for a steak dinner. Now, I'm modifying that a little bit here. Me and Les talked about it. Originally, we were gonna make a donation from MVET towards the national convention trip, but Doc took care of that. So we're gonna transfer this to convocation, where we're gonna offer up probably a $50 incentive per vehicle, but we're donating a total of 300, so the remainder balance is gonna go to the club. So we're asking for 3 or 4 vehicles that we can put out here, because like I said, it was a huge hit last year.
Plus food.
Plus food, yeah, plus food. So.
Hey Lance, I have a question.
Shoot.
What are the cross streets? What are the cross streets?
Turn around. You're there.
Oh, we're here?
That's here.
It's here.
Well, I saw Luke.
We're holding convocation in this room.
This is
This is it.
American
This is Luke
Legion
Greenway
Post
Post.
1, Luke Greenway.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, you learn things.
All right.
Jeff, get another drink.
It took him until this many years old to know that.
I saw Greenway and I saw 7th Avenue and the address.
You thought that was right by your house up there. All right. So, yes, let's support that. Who, are we taking notes on hands on this? Because I've been just kind of talking through it and shaking my head and holding my head. Okay.
Like volunteers.
Yeah, who's signing up for this convocation on the 8th? Do we have some early RSVPs? I know that's a long ways out, but do we have any probablys or possiblies? All right, I love it. What a beautiful display that would be for this event.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. I'm gonna move on. May 9th, Veteran Celebration and Magazine Kickoff. So this is Patty Deemers, our member who bought Jeff Cavino's truck bed. I think it's a 1090, which whatever the Humvee is with the stake bed and troop seats. You guys got to drive at the parade a little bit, but they're kicking this off at the Martin Auto Museum, 43rd and Thunderbird in Glendale, and she wants 10 vehicles. So I talked through this with her. She's got it so that veterans, if you're a veteran, you can attend, you can enter the museum for free. If you display a vehicle, you can enter the museum for free. She definitely has refreshments, water, whatever, for the people who attend. If your vehicle is small enough, it can probably go under shaded parking inside the museum's fenced parking lot for the outside display. So if you have a veteran and a wife and you want to get them both in, and the wife can be the vehicle and the veteran can be the attendee, you both get in. If you're not bringing a vehicle, you might have to pay $10 to get in. Or if you have 2 people in your vehicle and nobody's a veteran, you might have to pay $10 to get in. So just keeping that in mind. She's offering a $20 fuel incentive per person, and she's donating that to the club, so it'll just be fuel incentive through us. And we'll see what we get. I think that I want to go to this. I plan on being there. Depending on how many vehicles we get, I may or may not bring a vehicle. If we get, this would be a great one for a whole bunch of the club to come out. I've never seen the Martin Auto Museum, and I've been driving to by it for years and saying, I want to go see this museum. They have event space there, so they're going to have veteran service organizations and other stuff going on at the event. Anybody here interested in this one? We've been hearing about it for a while. John?
Well,
Okay.
if you want to drive your Python, I'll drive your sandwich.
It could happen. It's not terribly far from my place. All right. So let's watch this one. This is the kickoff of that American Veterans magazine that they've been trying to get off the ground for a long time, and that's the reason for this event. And I think she'll probably have that Humvee of hers inside with the magazines in the bed. I think that's what her plan is. Embroidery order. We're looking for a new embroidery order coming up in for the August delivery. So if we can get those orders by June, by the June meeting, I'll try to have them embroidered over the summer and have them for August for the fall. So I know you want something now, we can get your order in, we just won't get a bulk order price. The reason we're trying to combine these orders is because it cuts down on the machine setup costs and the run costs. So everybody gets it cheaper when we all put our order in at the same time. That's why we're doing it twice a year instead of doing it every month or something like that. So if you need embroidery, things like this shirt that I've got on, the shirt that he has on, the hat that Rob has on, those are some of the things that we're getting embroidered. And oh, your shirt too. We get those all the time. Sorry, you just have an average shirt. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, I think everything's been coming out really nice. So email sam@armytrucks.org and we'll start compiling a new order. I have nothing on the order for August delivery right now. And that even includes magnets. So if you want door magnets, we might have one set left to sell, but.
Do we do stickers at all?
We have the stickers. You're talking about the windshield stickers, the dollar stickers? We still have those. We haven't needed to order those yet because we still have them in stock. And they could definitely do another order of those when we need them. I've asked them. It's like that one. It's like that one. So these are some average prices on stuff that we paid, some of the items. I'm really liking that $30 olive green polo. I've spent good money on polos and I've had cheap polos. And this price, $30, $35 for polo is a cheap polo price. But that shirt fits, wears, and feels like a $50, $60 polo. It's a real comfortable polo. Probably one of the favorite ones I've ever got cheap in my life. So, and I bought the good one too. I bought the Nike Dry Fit, and I've been wearing the olive one because I like it just as good. The beanies, what a steal those were. Wore it the whole time.
They come in handy.
Yeah.
Once a year.
Once a year. All right, we did get an email about a deuce and half for sale. It's this one right here. A guy named George has a 1971 AM General deuce and half. I don't know what all these words are. 435 diesel manual transmission for sale in Phoenix as it runs. Has a new AMVCC. I hope that's not ran when parked. Mediocre tires, still folded desert colored. That's the best news on it. The desert colored cabin bed covers, still folded. And a 50 cal mount with legs. Have not seen the truck, asking 19.5. So that was Glenn Saber. Glenn Saber's the guy with that, is that a M152 modified ambulance service truck that's got all the racks on it and flags on it. Beautiful truck. George is still willing to sell the M715 and that's what it looked like when we got it. Probably doesn't look much different still. I think he said he worked on the motor some and got the motor to turn, but
no, it's not running.
It's not running yet. All right, I think we're getting pretty near the end. Phil, did you sell the M1048 yet?
No,
You looking to sell it still?
I am.
There it is. You need an
The
M1048
line's
trailer?
very short.
Hey, can you go back to George's M715?
Yes,
Is he advertising it anywhere
No.
else except here?
not just here.
Okay, so that sheet metal right there is sought after. You know, people don't use the original drivetrain on those vehicles, but that's a very popular vehicle out there.
And that one was very complete and not desperately bad if I remember correctly. I know we shoveled a lot of trash out of the bed.
Dr. Barrett?
Go ahead.
I had sent an email to Joe Snodgrass, he owns a couple of those,
Joe has one.
has one. Over in my neighborhood, far east Mesa, in that, 6300 block of Albany Street, that's near, Main Street and, Record, near there. There's one sitting in the front yard with, weeds just growing through it and around it. It obviously doesn't run anymore, but it looks, I'm not saying that looks worse, I don't know what's better, but anyway, it looks pretty bad. And, I'm sure the guy would take a dime for it, you know, I mean, it's just sitting there rotting. But it's a 715, I sent a picture to Joe Snodgrass of that sitting there, and He goes, oh yeah, you know, it's 715.
There's quite a following of those vehicles.
Is there?
And people are interested in putting different drive chains and axles in them, and they just want the sheet metal. So he needs to advertise a little farther than the AMVCC.
I don't think it's an emergency for him.
Okay.
It's just available if somebody wants to take the project on.
It's amazing what you see sitting lot in people's front yards, you know.
Yeah.
Will never run again, you know.
There's so many of them out there, and I mean, just
I had one, took me 2 months to sell.
yours was running.
Yeah,
Yours was the burger shop at Kirk Paradise, wasn't it?
yeah, it was.
Yes, it
It was a clean vehicle that I got from gatekeeper. And it wasn't running when I got it. I got it up and running, and I had no problem selling.
Cool. So what other vehicles, tech day stuff? One thing that I had sent out, I don't know who all I asked this, maybe I sent it out to the whole club, I don't even remember at this point. Can we get a trail ride together? I don't care if it's a night patrol up to Cave Creek, I don't care if it's tech day at somebody's garage talking about some topic. But you've been saying you want it. I know you went scouting for it. I know you ended up wrecking a tire out on the road scouting for it. Thank you for doing that, by the way. The cost of having a little bit of fun sometimes is a tire. But go ahead. What do you have? Do you have it planned?
I think that as far as a true trail ride, we've passed that time at least for the next several months until the cool weather comes back. But for a night patrol or a convoy to some nice place, that's different.
Sure.
But the places that Rob and I contemplated, we still have to go to those places, and frankly, it's hot enough now, and it is gonna be getting more so in the near future, that we've got to table a trail ride for a while. But for the rest of it, I'm open to the idea. We've had some great night patrols in the past, and in a convoy like the one Alan here put together some years ago, where we went to Cave Creek, and
Sure.
There's other places
How-
members could suggest.
Let's ask Alan a candid question. How did you make that happen? Can you tell us the little 3 or 4 or 5 step plan on how you made a trail ride happen?
Well,
I think it's hard. It's hard, isn't it? Like, it's almost impossible to make it happen.
Okay. Yeah, I basically stood up and said, hey, who wants to do a trail ride? Some people raised their hands. And then I think there was 2 that we've done to Cave Creek. One was a burger place called Big Earl's, and the other was Harold's. And so you just go on Google Maps and figure out what's the kind of, nice route to take that's maybe not the busiest route. But,
Do you have to have like a special software license or a whole bunch of money invested in something to make that happen?
No software license, no degrees, no special
So you did this
certifications.
Just on your own
with a piece of
initiative?
paper and a pencil, just quickly?
That's correct.
So what about the one that went to 2 places? Like, we started at the burger place out on Lake Pleasant Road and we drove down to Mixteca. Was that one hard to plan?
Not hard to plan at all, Sam. Okay.
No, the reason I'm asking is because it seems impossible to do now that you haven't been doing it, and I'm thinking somebody could do this if they just knew those little steps.
Yeah, well, that's how you do it.
All
Now
right.
that you've twisted my arm.
Giving away
here,
all your secrets?
Before Memorial Day, I'm gonna look at my calendar and I'll look at the events and maybe I'll
Well,
reach out.
let me
to
ask
you.
one more question. I'm not gonna stop you, but
Yeah,
is it true that you're the only one who can arrange a trail ride in this organization?
not true. Anybody can do it.
Anybody?
All
Like,
it takes is standing up and saying,
You're right
I'll
on
do
the
it.
steps, right?
Who's got a pair of boots I can borrow?
You announce that you're having a trail ride.
If you like, I can show you the manual that's involved. It's really pretty
so you
simple.
could coach somebody
Yeah,
to go through this? So
exactly.
you could it would be like a see one, do one, teach one type thing, and then
Exactly.
next time they could do it?
Teach a military vehicle club member to fish, and they do it for like.
That's what we want. Because
Yeah.
you've done such a great job, and
Yeah.
I want somebody to follow in those footsteps.
I mean, I'm not opposed to doing one in May before it gets too
So,
terribly hot.
right,
but-
you're on my challenge.
Uh-oh. Now we did it.
You're in so much trouble when you get home. So much trouble.
I might take, if I can take the kids.
Yeah, make it to like an ice cream shop or something, so that,
Well, if you do it to Big Earls again, I think it's Fridays and Saturday nights, they show outdoor movie as well.
That's right, there you go.
family friendly and fun.
Yep.
Family friendly and fun.
Just be wary of your price when you buy food because they automatically add gratuity.
There you go.
Well, that was just a little bit of fun I was having. I know that it's not hard, and I know that it's not just Alan, I could certainly do it. But if you've noticed by what you get from me about every week or week and a half in the email, I'm staying pretty busy trying to keep the wheels on the bus over here, and that's why I haven't done it. We have done stuff at my house, including putting a new floor in the club trailer or sanding and painting the club trailer. I don't know that I necessarily arranged it, but I participated, I hosted. We've done a tech day at my house, not really, but kind of a few times. We've done it at your dad's garage, we've done it at Phil's place. Oh, no, it wasn't Phil's place, that was at your garage with Phil.
Walls,
So, yeah.
my place.
So we've done a lot of these
Ivan's
things.
place.
Oh,
And-
there will be a day coming up too, Jeff, I'm volunteering, telling you, got a trailer you gotta paint.
Oh my, oh my.
What color?
OD green?
That's
Yeah,
my
I mean,
specialty.
these convoys, what I kind of look for is what's kind of a dynamic road in the greater Phoenix area that'd be fun. Like one time we went to over Usury Pass and into, what's that? Goldfield Ghost Town, is that the one?
I didn't do that one, but
Yeah.
that rings a bell.
You know, just,
You did one out to what pavilions once?
yep.
You did one up that North Phoenix road that comes across from Scottsdale over to,
We started at, the point at,
Tapatio
Tapatio
Cliffs, yeah.
okay.
and had breakfast there, and then we went to the Roadrunner, bar.
Yeah, the
Yep.
Roadrunner.
Yep.
Rodeo.
And that was kind of fun, you know, kind of maybe roads people haven't really been on before.
And the cool thing about that is, it's in town, it's not too far, you have a destination, you can have somebody meet you there if they don't wanna ride in the military vehicle, and you get to do a fun ride with the other people. If you saw the picture I put of Luke, I took a convoy picture. I always take convoy pictures, cause I love convoy pictures, cause I enjoy doing that convoy with my friends. Even if you're behind Austin and he's laying down coal and you can't see the road and you can't breathe, it's still fun. I enjoy
That's
it.
right.
Well, during the middle of summer, you could always do a convoy to the Beeline Cafe in Payson. Just gotta get there before 3 and have a nice piece of homemade pie.
So, all right, enough fun, but in all seriousness, I think that's what anybody who has a complaint about this club would complain about, is that we're doing too much talking and not enough doing. And thank you. Let's do some doing. And not just cars and coffee on the weekend, which I have no complaints about, but that's just fine. But something else, something with the military vehicle, something fun like that.
You'd be surprised if you got creative, came up with an event, and brought it up at a meeting. People might just show up.
I love that. That's like a bonus tip, isn't it?
You know?
Go ahead.
What has worked in the past is if there was some place to go that had something interesting, followed by a restaurant, and especially up a road like, we started out on 7th Street, we went to Cave Creek Road, and then, went up to Cave Creek. Another time we
Yeah.
did the Lake Pleasant thing.
I liked all our vehicles parked on the hill in Cave Creek. That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
So, have you counted up that bucket yet? Because we're about there. I'm talking to you, Hayden.
Oh, no, not yet.
Let's do it, because we're getting there. Because I think we're gonna run out of topics here. So I'm opening the floor. We don't always have time left over like this. Anybody else have a topic? What do you want to bring to the club conversation tonight? Let's hear it.
It's electrical. Some of us, like myself, are starting to hit that 80 mark. And I have a deuce and a half that has a very heavy tailgate. And lifting that sucker up from the bottom and trying to get it to the top, I can still do it. fairly.
Right.
And so my day is coming when I'm not gonna be able to do that. So what I did this last 3 weeks is there's a hoist already mounted on the truck, but it wasn't working.
Are you talking in the back or in the front for the tire?
Back.
In the back, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I designed a new wiring system and toggle switches and mounted a waterproof electrical box to the back of the truck. And now I can, with the hook on the hoist, I can bring up that tailgate, the 24-volt motor, and let it back down all the way without lifting the finger hard.
Did you get like an aircraft reversing motor or something from like an airplane?
They already had that motor
Okay.
on the hoist, and I
Okay.
did discover, because there was no markings on the motor, no markings on nothing, there's no remote control, there's no nothing, with that, so I decided for all these years of going ahead and, designing a schematic, wiring diagram for that, and it worked perfectly. It cost me probably about $200 in parts and wiring and all that, because I went heavy duty all the way.
I like it.
Yeah, and the fact is, I know that I probably could have paid someone $2,000 to install that, design and install that, so.
Or more.
I'm proud of my
That's
whole
right.
body here of putting that together, but, sometimes use springs.
Yeah.
Like the garage door springs.
Albert, don't you have springs on yours?
I do.
Yeah, Albert has springs on
Yeah, I
his.
hear those work real good, but I'm just not a metal guy, I'm an electrical guy.
Yeah.
So,
No, I love it. This is great.
yeah, so it's working great, and I'll be going to a show tomorrow in East Mesa.
Yeah.
I open that up, and have the stairs there for the kids and everybody else to get
Yeah,
up
you always do
back
that.
all the time.
So
And,
if,
I'll use it tomorrow, and it's working great, so I'm real happy I've got that.
so those of us with the big truck know exactly what you're talking about and why you care, and we care. And if you don't have the big truck and operate that tailgate, you probably have us shoo you away when we're operating the tailgate, because everyone wants to help. But I don't want anyone to get their hands near it, because that thing's it's just heavy and dangerous, and I like what you did there. Cool. Any other topics? Thank you. That's a cool tech topic. All right. So, Carl? Dave? All right, do we have a second?
Second.
And all in favor of adjourn? Aye. Any opposed? All right, why don't we call that at 7:55? Probably a new record.
Sell more lottery.
Sell more
tickets.
lottery.
Wait one stinking minute. We got another winner, another victor.
So Reggie was on. He says he plans to go to nationals, and he's got an order. He's got an item for the order. So
Where's he at?
Thank you, sir.
I'll ask him. See if he answers us. I have to identify myself because I'm incognito in the chat.
Nice thing is, no big
Anybody else, want a ticket
How much do you
for
have
the
there,
drawing?
Mike?
$52.
How much?
$52.
That's not bad.
You'll go home. Don't even. Oh, he wants in. I got it back. I like it.
When last
I
time.
think it needs to be shook up a lot. I think the ones on top are gonna be.
You know why they're buying this one? The odds are really good in the small font.
Okay, Lynn, I think you just volunteered to draw.
The excitement builds.
This isn't a first.
This isn't a
No, it's first. Man's first.
Thank you, Ida.
Steve Dorsey's on. He's in for Scottsdale Touch a Truck and Martin Auto Museum. Steve Dorsey for Scottsdale Touch a Truck and Martin Auto Museum.
Can night patrol start at like 2 a.m.?
They can.
2 a.m. to sunrise?
Absolutely.
All right.
And in my world, if more than two go, it's church, man. Let's do it.
And,
Okay,
okay, so 12.
Rob, you know I was a night shooter. I understand.
Rob, is your butt running? What does it need?
I don't know. It needs to be diagnosed and then fixed.
Plans are not necessarily.
Who's got the MVPA
It's,
History in Motion
it's
magazine?
6
Can we
for
get that one
5,
back
so
up
it's
here,
12
please?
for 10.
Thank you.
Sounds expensive up there.
We think it's the fuel. I've ordered a fuel pump. Or the positive crankcase ventilation.
These newer tickets.
So while we're
don't
waiting
care as
for
good
the
as
last
old ones
purchases
that
of
have the
tickets,
club logo
I
on
want to mention a concept that Rob came up with a while back, in case y'all haven't heard me talk about it. Rob had suggested or proposed that sometimes those of us
There you go,
who
Doctor.
have vehicles can't always go to an event, and sometimes those of us who can go to an event don't actually have the vehicle. And that wasn't the only idea. He had another idea that sometimes somebody with a big truck might like to try a Mutt or a Jeep. And sometimes a member has a couple of small vehicles and they can only take one. And so he started he initialized it by having Tully take his Mutt to a son's event. I think that's what we did first, and it worked out well. No harm was done, everybody had a good time, another event was covered.
There was an
And,
exhaust leak. He got slightly sick, but other than that.
But you were able to fix that, right?
Yep.
And what happened is somebody who might not have known the enjoyment that we have, a newer, younger person to the hobby gets some time in the seat. And I think a common sales trick is put it in their hands, right? So I think Lance and Leslie have both had the opportunity to operate a vehicle not their own and enjoyed it immensely. Lance is now buying a vehicle. I think he'll have it
If the
done
bank
soon.
approves my loan.
Right, he's trying to get this done.
On a
And I
loan.
think it's a great way to, if you've got family members or a trusted somebody in the club or somebody not in the club that you think might have some enjoyment and interest, we need to put some newer faces, some fresh faces, some younger people in this organization. And not just us, nationwide, the whole hobby. Because if we do not, it will die with our generation. We look at the pictures and it's the same people in the pictures from 20 years ago. And that's my goal, is to get some of that youth back into the club, and that's one way we can do it.
Same people in a lot more gray.
Yeah, exactly. I'm one of
Can
them.
I drive your truck?
Which one?
Can I drive the 5-ton?
Come on over. I'll try you out. If you do okay in the neighborhood, we might take it around the block. If you do okay around the block,
I drove it Houston.
I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you.
He
But
drove
that's,
the
but that's,
M211 for
but that's,
several.
but that's how you do it. I mean, Lance came over. I said, why don't we go get some fuel? You drive it. He seemed fine to me. I said, all right, come back tomorrow and get it. And he did it. Go ahead.
The jackpot is now up to $67.
Anybody not have a ticket?
I make a motion that we just put half of that back into the club. That's too much for one person.
Nah.
I didn't hear a
What the hell are you gonna
second.
say on the day when I win the whole
Nah.
report?
They don't all pass.
Okay, do we have anybody here who doesn't have a ticket? An impartial person to draw?
Yeah, Alan.
All right. Shake it up.
Okay, Alan, you draw it and read
Remember
the
your
number.
friends, Alan.
Remember your friend.
Don't let us down, Alan.
Come
All
on.
right, winning number 230249.
Ooh, a late ticket.
Yep.
I got 242.
That means Doc Corbin.
That did it?
Woohoo!
All right. Congratulations.
And you even switched around.
There he
Well, that pretty much wraps up the meeting, and we'll see you next time. If I can figure out how to end this. There we go.